Sorry about that, but that guys, it tragedy happened. Guess it crashed on me or else I hit something. Anyway, sorry about that. Get back to it so you can really get back to it. Right now, we are focused on Ender.io, or start of it, but we are really not. We just gotta start getting a power generation up for Mekanism. Before I went down an energy tangent of explaining this, but like I said, it's not that hard, but it's a bit needed. Okay, so I want to get that done. What's next for us? Well, a couple things. We need power, of course, to work with what we got. Power. Power, we need to think about how we can produce power. There are a couple ways of doing that. And one of them is like... we need to build a nuclear reactor. However, that's not easy said and done. Well, it is, but this one's overhaul is actually could be darnly different. But a nuclear reactor will help us produce a lot more power than we need. However, it requires a bunch of other shit, which I avoided to mine. So while that's being set up, upgrading our tools as we please. I says we could either do stone or all smelting. Prefer to have all the smelt, but we can't have exactly all of those, can we? We could. It'd just be a pain in the ass as might, but that's why we need for graphite. So this one's gonna be the main pick, so I'm not gonna change that. So we're gonna take those and make it have set auto smelting for us. I can make it right straight to Paradise if I want to. What's the point now when we have everything we needed? Making it powerful with this. We need more luck. How many modifiers do we have left in this thing? We have one modifier till we level up, which it should be fine soon. Now we're even more powerful with this. 2 is to repair this, we could get 2 modifiers for it. Increase haste, luck, sharpness is the other one. Diamond. Fortification. Silk touch, you kinda get choose. You only get choose one of those. Forcing. Undead for smite. We get coarsen soil. Our friend Spinner Eye. Which we could do both, would do more damage to the sword. The blaze powder has a chance to set on fire. Or necrotic takes health away from him. Soulbound. Height, width, lasting. Shocking to get that. Really though. As I was reading, because durability will be consumed. We want to create Dorset. To get smeltery, but for us we need like some old ones. It's either increased luck, diamond, or emerald, or durability. But besides that, you have to get the parts to repair it with whoever the head is, which is ours is Iridium. But yeah. There's like a melding moss, but that doesn't exist in this one. Oh, it does. I doubt it. Doubt in this version. Oh, but it does exist. Oh, moss. Right click on a bookshelf. Every time we get XP, it will repair the thing for us. That's one way to do it, or ecological is what we have. So basically, slowly it does it. Slowly it builds us. That's why we have wood for a wood thing. So we can actually have ecological. But that or melding moss is another way to keep our ability. However, every single time we level up, that's when that comes an issue. But since our modifier is iron here, we actually use something else for this. This firewood's gonna be on the next pick, what we're doing. Night slime, we can do that, but it goes unnatural. Blue slime doesn't do much for extra durability, gives you extra durability. Hellish. There's another one for that. Or get yourself some Ardite. So just basically combine stone. Or I get with lightweight with swift, so it makes us much more creepy speed. It all depends really. We want to set our picks. After explaining all that. And now we need a new pick setup. So get that smelting. And I want to put a new shovel on my head. One ingot is what we need for my tool. That's what we do for my pickaxe. Now we can actually smelt down. We gotta smelt an Ardite, but again, it requires stone, and we're busy making things quicker with this. Or keep that, but just give us a better, that's have a bind to the shovel. It's whatever. Momentum, go up. And that's a new pick, we cannot smelt that. So take that. Because handles for auto smelting is not what we need for our firewood, because as you can tell, it really hinders the durability. So let's go back to the lava spot and take that away. Because I'm going to need for our thing. You also got to get mindful how much lava is in here. You can increase the amount of lava by getting more of those seared tanks for storing more lava. So you don't have to go consistently go down to get more new blocks, but we're not doing that. Elevators cast. There we go. We still oh no, give me that back. Wasted a blank cast, but again, not to blame. 1 bucket, 1 wood. Oh yeah, need blaze. Firewood. There we go. And a stack for us. Alright, that's another axe done. There we go. Auto smelting pickaxe. There. We'll put you there. I grab the magnet to increase our thing higher. There we go. I can auto smelt our ores with ease. Put up higher emerald, make us higher durability. Good. I could add a diamond to it, make it more better, but we give it more hickory, give it haste. I think we'll give it haste. I mean, already got like mine speed of freaking ridiculous in attack, anyways. Because we got like probably close to 9, if we get more haste to it, we go nuts. I guess we could do that. We do need more quartz, but those are gonna be found in there. So we have a bunch of osmium, titanium, tungsten. That'll be good for us to have it doing something deadly, but again, one takes like a freaking long time to smelt. I'll tell you why. Because it costs us 2, and 1 is 2 of them. Tungsten doesn't give us much durability for us, but it gives us much more attacking damage. We won't get any of the modifiers. Unlike Night Slime here. But that's when crumbling takes soft blocks. However, we need to be as Abomination or Unnatural. Oh, it's invigorating. We don't have her tools. What we do want to take something to do is damage, not nether. It also takes hotter environments versus the nether, but does deal bonusing on the dead. You get the gist around here. Stonebound, momentum. Malleolum is the one we want, because it does during combat do more damage. It also consumes more durability. But what we're gonna do with tungsten, it gives us nothing bonus, but gives us straight 8 deaths at the point. So either you can use that or go straight to like stuff we need, which basically I'm gonna do is give us Malleolum, which needs 1 Ardite and 1 Cobalt. That'll take time to smelt. And so forth. Ugh. Sorry about that. It's a learning progress here, but it's an interesting process how Tinkers was. I'm getting this to give the iron to give us more, lose some durability, but we get more shocking, which makes it much more quick. And give us emerald too. do that much more, and we'll do this fine. But we're also using some extra mods that actually change how the things work. So as you can see now, that's not bad, but it's like rough. But actuality is much more higher if you just get the regular default. Reason why it's in here because it's another mod that changes them adjustively to their proper respected durability. So that's how this works. But I guess for like all time, just explain how Tinker's is. Alright, now we got Melianum. Which is going to be used for our blade. You got always pay attention. When you're in this version of Minecraft with Tinkers, you always gotta pay attention in the book. And in the book to understand what you want and what you want early on or what you want to do with. And you have some other ones that mods add their own types like this. Running, and like I said, there's like some other mods that do dramatic things. This is from Mousy Creatures that actually do all this stuff, which is interesting. But that's why. But at least like other ones, there's other mods that are not there that will give you this. If it was there, you'll get that a lot. But these are the next ones right here. Highest tier. But those are very high expensive, but they do a lot of shit. But for us, and what we're doing right now is that we're getting all our tools set up prior before we begin our power hunt. But if you have like some other mods that get you our generation in there and you find these there, take it. Because then it makes things a bit easier for you. But also like when you find this one, weirdly because of what it does. It's weird. Oh, this was dramatically changed in the later version of Tinkers to Tinkers 3. But like I said, it's a bunch of process and learning. But pink slime and other slimes are like have high durability unless you have reinforced. I mean, you get like this stuff. Like, so much change a lot of stuff. You gotta pay attention in the book. Really. Melianum's sword. Now for us, this is gonna be our deadly. We get sharpening and all that. But soil we need for Tinkers, which is basically graveyard soil, which is basically bone meal and rotten flesh, which is used to give us more smite and hellish if you want to add that. But you can add hellish too, but also you can like get creative with a bunch of stuff too. But it deals more with non-nether, but nether is gonna be killing you. So we're gonna do that for us and get our next thing for our thing gear. Hellish. Which is not really ideal, but again, you do more damage than you think. And then you lose the shock ability. However, you do ridiculous damage to anyone. And that's when we get smite and all that. Let's see if there's any under low runs they can drop us some round flesh and smite. Do we actually get smite? Which one's over here? Because we need it to add more damage to this blade. now we got the bone we need. Now we need to find round flesh. But I thought it comes in tiers, but you also consume a modifier. If I'm correct. For zombie, for round flesh. There's a thing here. Oh, a meteor crash right next to us. Or near a slime area. Don't want to be underneath that yet. I don't want to deal with those fucking slimy bass boys. Cursed thing also got a cursed scarecrow head. I just need to get some more food when we're stocking up with that later. Because I need around flesh. There we go. That's all I need for our blade. More. What do I do with a scarecrow head? Okay, just basically just aesthetics, I think. Yeah, just aesthetics. Alrighty. Yeah, but look at our charcoal is done. Now. Alright. So you need graveyard soil. You need to make that. Bone meal. I guess 2 of those. We get graveyard soil. Heals the undead, which we don't want. You actually want to burn that hurts the undead. Just make smite. Hurts the undead. That's +4 plus the undead. See, give us more there. But as you can tell, there's more as we keep on grabbing, which we can condense it to give us more of this. Which we're gonna do. What should we burn it, get ready with it? Because titanium I'm gonna need a lot. I guess we'll have to gold into that, but back to food. Because we do 7 on the undead right at this rate right now. 2 more during combat, but also consume more durability, doing none other, and also doing like 4 freaking massive on the undead. For smite. I think you go even higher, but also consumes another durability. You see how this works here? Modifiers are? What Tinkers do? You go up to straight to, I think it goes up very high too. You do like 11 against the undead, like easily. Which we're gonna do, we're gonna do that. And make it like ridiculous or smite. So we do 14 against the undead. That's only with the undead though. Now we have 2 modifiers left. And we're also getting comfortable to a custom mode, obviously with some experience though. So that means we have 2 more of those to use. We can increase it even higher. Tier 3, but that's just like overkill. We can go even higher if we want to. But we're not doing like that. Because we are going to do it with a modifier which we want. It's like more emeralds. It increases the durability by 50 of it. And we do like that much damage for being emerald. Because what we're going to do next is sharpening. We could do this, leave it the blade that is, To get extra durability, go straight to sharpening, which means you guys need another quartz, and nether quartz requires much more stuff. So undead takes that much dead, plus 4 is 8, it's roughly 18 kills for the undead. Down. We want this higher to do more damage. We either sacrifice the durability to get more of the quartz, which increases more higher as we go. But for me, we're gonna wait till we unlock our modifier. I think we're gonna make a toolbox too. What's this? That's gone. This one. I got rid of that. Because there was an extra mod that allow. It was an old mod that allow you to increase more modifiers to your thing, but those I found in creative. Looks like we don't have it anyways. Very much. But we are going to do quartz, which requires that much. And just one block is like 1,000 for quartz. And we'll shove it to here. And requires 17. Now 11 damage to the blade. There we go. Now we got all that set up. Our tool thing so you can like go lost in stinkers, like I can do. Which is a little of teaching lesson what we can do, what we can't. And that's the other issue right here, blood. Since we are up this high, the mobs can come on top and fall in, but if you go up higher and it gets more dark, they'll still fall in and die. It just wasn't your annoying thing back in the day. Because we're gonna push this up to one more for what we have. Creative for a sec. Like I said, these takes like a fucking ages to make. There's a way to make more of this, and it's by cobblestone. But it takes a lot of it, a lot of cobblestone, to do so. Now we got 3 high, and now we can actually store like a lot more ingots now because of it. And to get rid of the blood, you just either get rid of like this, mine it, and place it back down. It's something like that. But now, as you understand how Tigger's gonna work, it's a bit of like a interesting concept, but it's amazing. But now we got our charcoal pit finished after our talk. Now watch. You get ash, but you also get a bunch of charcoal. Look at that. That much charcoal out of this. This is what we're going to be a source of fuel and also use for our main stuff. And this is from forestry. Let's go by our main source of making steel. Enough of me yapping, let's actually get to some progress here besides me yapping on Tinkers. So first things first, we want to get Mechanoid infusers. Just like that, 35 charcoal blocks from that. That is a lot. So, what's our main source? Now we got Tinkers, we got everything we need now. We got set up. What we start is we need to build power. We need to start working on getting mechanism up and running to make our steel. So to do that, we need power, which needs to make Mechanoid infusers, which requires to make a generator. So that's what we're going to do. Because in this space is not going to do much, but it'll do us just right what we need right now. And we can do it by making too many generators, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it the other way around. Because there's a bunch of generators that we can done. Industrial craft style or regular generator from industrial craft. Which is what we're going to do. So the iron furnace is smacked down with the plates, which you need to make an engineer's hammer. Or make plates, but we need to make a hammer anyway. So, this is a couple string. I think it's one string. And iron. Make our hammer. To make, well, immersive engineer's hammer. This is what I use to make immersive engineering, but like I said, this mod's interchangeable, so we actually can smack it with this to make our plates. Which is not ideal. And it's not repair with this one. You actually have to like create more of them. It did before, but not now. But for us to save some time, we're going to need it to make a casting for our iron needs. There we go. Now you have a casting for iron plates. Or any plates now. Without wasting the hammer on it. So we can like take two to make it to one. However, the weird part with this though, there's two different plates of it. One is the immersive and the thermal. This one's mostly made by the rolling machine, but that we need bit power before we get down that route. Or pressurizer by nuclear craft. You see what the point is? But they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable. But why do we need this? We need power. And that requires us to get a generator. It sometimes works with some generators, and sometimes it does not. It's iffy, but we got an iron furnace. We need another plate. We can just smack it down to give us a third one. Or you just make it a thermal. But there we go. But now we need copper. This is the reason why we need batteries, which needs insulated cable, which needs to go to rubber. But we also need tin. Same cue. However, you can make it by using the forge hammer of industrial. This thing cannot repair it either, but it's the main source how you make the other hammer. But that's why we didn't get any tin, so we're gonna get tin. But also, before we make that, we have to go pay a visit to get our things. Iron furnaces are better and quicker, but require a bunch of iron. Wish we could do it this way. Replace our 3 with that, which basically is 15. So might as well get it done with. It's the way to do it. The other way is quicker is making machinery for it. It's all about your things. You can do it. Like I said, it's taking a whole block to make it. I think we can also resmelt this to resmelt this. You can. Some things can be resmelted, sometimes cannot. But it can be resmelted to give you back. That's how it works. There we go. Now basically go grab our stone here and make our giant furnaces. It can also make some inconsistencies between this and mine. It's because some mods have a certain version they can work with 64 is the most common. I went for on 28, that's why it's a bit much more detail. But it does work still, it just there's some variations you can see. It's not that bad, at least. If you're just not that anal, but it's not that bad. But this actually lets collect you experience without collecting it, so it's actually much more saving more time, but also is very quicker on smelting. So for example, we'll shove dilithium in there and you see a bit quicker it takes, see? You're gonna let that be. And since we're not doing copper, we can basically shove it in there. Voila! But now we got things working on with the machinery. We're doing everything we can do so. So, now let me go hunt down for rubber. Because we want to get the generation power operational, which requires us to go take a visit in rubber. We also need to go down to get some tin. So we're going to make a quick mine trip to get some tin. Now, one thing's been tricky with auto smelting now, since there's many ore versions were now once one. Now there are different versions now. This, however, is still the same because it is. Because that's a different tire thing comic anyways. So those we're avoiding because they pick and need their own things. But watch this. Well, now we got copper. And now, what's the idea is, and it automatically merges into stone now. You see why there's a bit of a issue in there? Because now we can do as quick with iridium to get things back. But now we got industrial copper too now. You see that? See with this, that means there could be one, there could be many now. Based on auto smelting. It's handy, but also pain in the ass. See? But unless they give us industrial 2, that means we can make things easier for us. This actually helped us quite a bit. You can take lead, but if it makes it industrial 2, we can do it very easily now. Oh yeah. Now getting ingots is ease. Now we just decrease luck. We get is a lot more. Definitely going to ride the ores. But it's nice to have the ores because then we can smelt it more back into the smelter to double it. Any ore can be doubled, it just depends how you want to do it. If you want to get straight to the ingots, then do it this way. But if you want to get straight to the ores, then do the other way. I think we're going to need some lead too soon. Let's see. For us, fortunately, it's actually going to Industrial 2 ores ingots. Which is not that bad. Means we can do this with these. Since we're on Cobalt, we don't have much durability. All we have is like that. Water starts to charge quartz I freaking missed. Wow. But yeah, like I said, it's a matter of either way to take it. Shocking. You don't want to drop to below. But it's how it's done. Well, if it's true though, we need a bunch of reinforcement, but reinforced stuff ain't gonna be easy.